What's up, everybody? It's the former master and ruler of the world, 6'7", 313 pounds, brutal Rob Hams. God damn it. And I got a story for you, pal. That's right. This is my channel. It smells like a story time, pal, and it's where I tell stories of my experiences in the Northern California independent wrestling scene while getting high. And tonight, I might as well just get this thing started because we ain't playing around tonight. We ain't playing around tonight because we're talking about Hell Week. Yes, we are. We are talking about Hell Week. And as we talk about Hell Week, I'm going to put my lungs through hell while smoking this. And I just got to get to it because it already smells. It smells rough. Let's go. Oh, we're blasting off into space, pal. So, you sign up for the APW boot camp. You start learning about paying dues. Depends on when you sign up as to when your class starts. Now, say you sign up in August in the summer camp. Has already started, as was in my case. You have to wait till the winter camp to start. So I started learning about paying dues. Did security, we talked about that. Did chores, we talked about that. So we're going to talk about what happens after you learn about your chores, you learn about paying some dues, you're kind of getting a little bit in with the system. Now you get to see if you really stay in with the system, because it's Hell Week. In the next 2 weeks, for 4 days out of the next 2 weeks, the trainers are going to do everything in their power to run you off. Now I have varied opinions on the practice of Hell Week and the old school style that it represents, the old school traditions that it represents. I have an opinion both ways on that. And this is strictly my opinion, so more than likely I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a little less wrong than someone else. Anyways, I agree to a point why the first step you take in wrestling in a physical sense is you trying to get ran off. What you do in the ring can be it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun being a wrestler. It's a lot of fun performing, taking bumps, calling spots, getting juice. All that's great and fun and exciting. But you need to understand, as a wrestler, you need to understand what you're doing each time you step between those ropes is a life or death activity. Because one misstep, one fuck up, 1 inch off on certain things, and you could be seriously injured and or killed. So, Hell Week comes from a time where, and like I said, this is my opinion, it's an offshoot of the old times where you just didn't sign up to be a wrestler. You had to get put through the ringer to become a wrestler. Um, Hogan getting his leg broken by Matsuda. As much as you gotta take what the Hulkster says with a grain of salt sometimes. Flair, there are stories in his books about taking 50, 100, 150, 200 back, just back bumps and rolls over and over and over in Vern's shitty farm or barn. Same time, you gotta take what the Nature Boy says with a grain of salt. Like I said, these are all my opinions. I understand what Hell Week is for and what that practice is for. It's to get people that really want to do this. If you don't really want to do this, you don't really want to be a pro wrestler, you're going to get 45 minutes into Hell Week and you're going to say, screw this, I'm done. Something you really want to do, it's a dream. Maybe even if it's not a dream, maybe you've been a screw up your whole life. And, this is, maybe it is a dream. Maybe you've been a screw up your whole life. It's like, man, this is my shot to do something. If you really want it, you're going to get through those 4 days. So it initially weeds out the people that really don't want to do this, that don't have the heart for it. If you can get through the Hell Week exercises, you actually have a lot of heart for a lot of things. Maybe not even just being a wrestler. You show up and even participate in the Hell Week. You got, even if you had to drop out, well, for whatever reason it was, whether it was too intense, like guys where it's like, I'm about to faint, man. Like, well, it's like, just don't battle it out and get hurt or kill yourself, like, not everybody's cut out to do this. Now, that brings me to my other side where I do have some issues with the practice and some of the things that happen with Hell Week. Is just because you can't be a wrestler doesn't mean there's a ton of other things you can do behind the scenes, behind the curtain, for a promotion itself that doesn't involve being a pro wrestler. The problem with people trying to run people off through Hell Week exercises is that exactly what it does. They feel like, I'm not cut out to be a wrestler, and then they just get ran off. They get ran off, and then a lot of times it just leaves a bad taste in their mouth. Something that's, say you're in your 20s and it's a dream. It's not even. It's something. This is something that you've loved your whole life. Some of my earliest memories involve pro wrestling as a little kid. So. So this is something that you love, something that you followed, something that you're a fan and passionate about, and then you get ran off from Hell Week. Instead of saying that what that does to you, instead of saying, oh man, maybe I'm not cut out to be a wrestler, what else could I do? It just ends up running people off to where, like, this thing that they've loved their whole lives, now they got a bad taste in their mouth because, to be honest, they weren't able to do something that, honestly, not most of the general public probably would just be able to do without any preparation or just, there's no shame in realizing you're not cut out to be a wrestler. Sometimes it takes people years to find out they're not really cut out to be a wrestler. If my phone was a mirror, I guess I'd be looking in a mirror while saying that. But, there's no shame in it. No matter how far you went in wrestling, whether you just got through you didn't get through the first 4 days, you got through 4 months, you got 4 years, whatever. You tried it. You did it. You did something that your neighbor more than likely probably was never done, so that's never done and never will do. More than likely the person you run into at the grocery store is never done. So you tried to do it. No matter how far you got in wrestling, you tried to give it a shot. Hold your head up high, because you know it makes you a little different than everybody else. But unfortunately, Hell Week runs people off for the most part. They don't look into other ways to get involved with the business. And like I said, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth about something that they've loved and have been passionate about their whole lives. But at the same time, like I said, and this is strictly my opinion, there's things about the practices of Hell Week that I totally agree with. And then there are some things that I'm like, I don't really care for that too much. I'm not a big fan of that aspect. But I did always want to know that the person that I was across from the ring with, they were a professional. They understood the severity of what we were doing. That if something went wrong, it could change your life, or end it. So, I guess that was my intro. Kind of just giving the outline of what Hell Week is. Basically, it's exercises to run you off. I know, like football terms, they have like double, like two-a-days. They do like that, or every sports or like and whatnot have, like I think armed forces too. They all have their own. They'll have their own things where it's like this is step one, and it's going to be one of the hardest steps to take because it's going to be the first one. And then guess what? This stuff really doesn't get too much easier after this, because then you got to start figuring things out. That's the fun and joy about wrestling, is what you're taught in a wrestling school is just the tools. Just the tools and the basics. You don't actually really understand what the hell you're doing, what the hell this all is, until much farther down the road. And I never got a grasp on what it all was. I still don't even understand what it all was. I'm just speaking on my experiences and what I've learned. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Let's get into what... I'm not going to go through the whole week on all 4 days. Because essentially, you did the same thing each day. But... let's go. First thing you do to start off Hell Week is, and this is the first thing you did to start off every class at the boot camp, was run the mile. You run from where the APW garage was all the way down Industrial. I think it ends at, I think it's Whipple. I think it's Industrial and Whipple down there in Hayward is where it ends. But go down there, and and finally one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find out, motherfuckers. I'm gonna find out if this is a mile. So I remember we did a birthday party show at the APW garage. And this was like a Sunday, so it was no training. And I left the garage. Before leaving the garage, I set my trip odometer. I drove up to the top, up to Whipple, to the stop sign we run to, and drove back to the garage. 1.5 miles, assholes. Just hey, go run the 1.5 miles. But you go and run the mile, and if you cheat, nobody in my class cheated. I know that because I was one of the slowest, so I was kind of at the back, so I knew nobody cheated. I knew everybody went the whole way for the most part. Everyone knew I went the whole way, I think. But you run the mile, you get done with that. They have you line up. And this is like 10 years ago too, so I'm gonna probably miss some details. And I'm power manning my way through this 5,000 milligram thing. I don't know if it's 5,000 milligrams. I just wanted to say Power Man 5,000 in a sentence. So we line up, arms length apart, and we go through burpees, jumping jacks, squats, burpees, jumping jacks, squats, 10 and 1s. That's the one. This sounds it doesn't sound that bad. This is what 10 and 1s are. 10 and 1s, you start with this is why it doesn't sound so bad. You start with 10 jumping jacks and 1 push-up. Then you go to 9 jumping jacks, 2 push-ups. 8 jumping jacks, 3 push-ups, and so on and so forth. That really doesn't sound so bad on paper. Like, yeah, man. Starting out with 10 and 1, you know? Anybody that's done 10 and 1s, and back when I even had a little bit of a hand in I'm not going to claim that I was a trainer or anything like that, but when I did have a hand in helping out with training, and I would have hey, you have hey, Brutal or Burger, you got an exercise for the new guys, or if it was just whatever, hey, we're gonna run, I would bust the 10 and 1s out because they're deceiving. You don't think it shouldn't be too bad, okay, You start getting down to those 3 jumping jacks and those 7 push-ups. Those 2 jumping jacks and those 9 push-ups or 8 push-ups, you start going, ooh, this isn't as goddamn easy as I thought it would be. So after by about that point, you're starting to feel it, what everyone's talking about. The guys going into the bushes during Hell Week and throwing up. And I saw it. I saw a lot of guys throw up, but I didn't, not because I didn't feel like I was going to throw up, but I made sure I had almost nothing in my stomach, or very minimal. Every day I was doing Hell Week, I ate as light as I could, and nothing like banana with peanut butter and toast, and that would, maybe a juice or something, it was because I had nothing to throw up. Not saying that I didn't want to throw up, but I just didn't have any, anything to throw up. And also, there's only a couple new people in my group, including me and Tilo the Insano. Everybody else in the class, including Lisa Lace, a.k.a. Shakira Spears, her and everybody else had already been through this was their second time through the beginners camp, so they had already gone through Hell Week once, so they knew what was up. I knew that they were going to try to make us puke, so I just tried to make sure I didn't have anything to puke. I think after we did all the calisthenics and stuff, squats, jumping jacks, burpees, 10 and 1s, I think they gave us a water break. I think we got like a little 5-10 minute water break, and you start seeing cones getting set up like PE. And all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we're doing relays and stuff. It's just like PE, except you're exhausted, you want to throw up, you're tired, and there's grown men screaming at you. Um, but yeah, it was just like an extreme version of PE. Like once we got to the relay races part, like you were still sweating. And I'm not saying like relay, but just different exercises. And sometimes we would be on teams. So like, all right, four you there'd be like three, four little cones set up across the parking lot, and there would be four of us set up. All right, four of you guys on one side, four of you guys on the other side. All right. Everybody crab walk. First person, crab walk all the way to the end and crab walk back. And then when that person gets back, the next person goes. And whichever side's the quickest watches as the other side then has to all together crab walk all the way back. And, shit like that. But like crab walk, sprinting, high knees, shuffles. Sometimes I think there was like we carry the person, and so just like PE, but that's like PE activities, but more extreme and with consequences, and just one after another after you're already been getting run ragged. So that was about an hour or so of doing that stuff. Which at the same time, while you're getting ran ragged, and you're crab walking across this parking lot and picking people up. And, oh yeah, wheelbarrows. That was another one. Wheelbarrowing back and forth. You're still doing something. It's a little, I'm hating to call it fun because it wasn't fun, but like, competition, if you win, if your side wins, you're going to get a little bit of a breather while you watch the other side do the high knees all the way across 5 times, or the crab walk across 5 times, a shuffle, So after that, they bring us inside. It was winter, so it was dark when we started, but, it's like, God, it's got to be getting to like 9 o'clock now, that's what class is from. It's from 6 to 9, my God, it's got to be getting close now. All right, we're going to go in and do some stretches. Oh, cool, some stretches. Superman's neck bridges, 2 versions, forward neck bridge, and Bray Wyatt. Imagine how Bray Wyatt gets on his. I hate to say Bray. I mean, he is Bray Wyatt. He hasn't debuted anywhere, right? He's not like the Friend in AEW. I would know. I actually watch AEW weekly, so not like forever, but my cousins live in the same town as me. One of them, Travis, he's my cousin. That's, he's not a huge super wrestling fan, but he's a wrestling fan. He follows it, but he's my best friend since we were in like 4th, 5th grade, and he's the one that taught me the joys of Mary Jane. Yeah, but my cousin Jake, he's a huge wrestling fan. He knows the lingo. He knows. Me and him can sit down and shoot the shit about wrestling, from a fan / former wrestler to along with another fan. Enough to the point where my cousin Travis is like, yeah, you guys should have a podcast. Still trying to get Jake around on that idea. I'm like, all right, YouTube channel, bro, where I talk about wrestling, like, you can do it, man. 2 fan. Now, I'm not going to say the name because somebody will steal it. But I got sidetracked there a little bit. So, oh yeah, the stretches. So yeah, Bray Wyatt, the backward neck bridge. That's how did I get on Bray Wyatt? So where Bray Wyatt goes and does his crab walk, and he uses his neck to get himself up and raises his arms, and walks like that. That's, to be able to do that, you have to learn how to do a backwards neck bridge, because that's how you get into that position. You roll onto your neck, and then if you're really good like he was and strong enough, you can push up and walk. But you got to get the neck bridge down first. So Superman's, both forms of the neck bridges, I guess, and then back extensions. But let me go through. I just explained what the neck bridges were, but Superman's, those should be obvious. I don't know, maybe not everybody that watches my channel, all 20 of you, know what a Superman is. But that's where you lay flat on your back, see, I'm not even saying it right. You lay flat on your belly, and then raise your arms like that while simultaneously. Gotta remember, guys, I only got half a brain. While simultaneously doing the same thing with your legs. Not shooting out like that with your legs, because that's physically impossible to shoot your legs out with your hands, but backwards, like Superman. Like Superman flying. God damn it. Anyways, Superman's, that's what that is. The forward neck bridge is like I don't even want to say that. That's mean. That's mean. I'm not gonna say that. He could be hurt. But it's probably because he's really good at these forward neck bridges, and he did a lot of them, that's probably why Madcap Moss did not break his neck. But the forward neck bridge kind of looks like how he looked last night, at least the still photos that I've seen of his landing. So imagine, you're like that, and you got your arms behind you, and your legs. A neck bridge. And then I've already explained the backwards one. And these all just regular stretches. But when you've been put through the ringer, and at this point, that lactic acid is building up, is starting to build in your system. I think that's the correct word. The acid that makes your muscles hurt. Men screamed like children. Men screamed like children during these stretches. Not so much the neck bridges, not so much the Superman's, but when we got to those back extensions, where a back extension is where you lay with your waist on the edge of the ring, with a friendly fellow wrestling student sitting on your legs as your legs are stretched out inside the wrestling ring. They're sitting on your legs so you don't head first down to the floor. Because if you were just, the way you were on the ring like that, if you didn't have someone holding your legs, you would. And then the trainers would say, up. And you got to go from being down on the ring to bringing yourself up and holding it and holding it and holding it and holding it until they say down. Over and over and over. And that was the one where not even babies. I heard men and women, and especially one certain man scream like banshees during those. Thankfully, back extensions were the last thing you would do. That was basically your regular Hell Week day. My first one was on a Wednesday, so thank God I had what I thought until the following Monday to recover, and it just happened that that was promo class that Monday. So, and promo class was for all the students, regardless of beginners, semi-pro, advanced, whatever, pros even. It was very recommended to come to promo class, so there wasn't a Hell Week day on Monday. So I had from Wednesday to the next following Wednesday before the second one. And then I had from Wednesday to, again, the next, or actually from Wednesday to Monday then at that point before the third Hell Week day. And then it was really setting in because the fourth, I only had that Tuesday between the last Hell Week day. The fourth one was between Monday and Wednesday. I remember being at work on that Tuesday afterwards. And I was working at Jamba Juice, and I remember going on my 30-minute break. And I asked, I go, hey, can you guys give me some of those big plastic bags? I'm gonna fill them up with ice from the ice machine. Why? I'm gonna go sit in my car on my break and just put these on my legs because I need my legs for tomorrow. And, you know, we all did it. I think one or two people maybe dropped out from my original class. Like I said, there was only like 3 or 4 of us that were new. Tilo and myself were 2 of them, so that's 50. If there was only 4, then me and him were already 50%. Like I said, everybody else was had already been through it before, so they weren't really dropping out. So we all, I think for the most, I think 1 or 2 people might have dropped out, but I'm not 100% sure. But we all got through it, and then we all got, well, not all of us. Like I said, most of them were returning, but as far as for me and Tilo, we were starting to learn all about rolls and bumps. Just when we thought, oh man, we got through Hell Week, we're gonna start having some fun. Then that's when we start to realize, God damn it, this shit's not getting any easier. It's just getting harder in different ways. But that'll be for another video, because this one's already been 32 minutes. I don't even want to look at what the actual time is right now, because I'm stoned. I'm hungry. I don't want to stay up too late tonight, but I got to cook myself a pizza. Maybe even play some Godfather on the PS2. I said that right, PS2. But anyways, this is the man formerly known as the master and ruler in the world. The man that might still be 6'7" and 313 pounds. Who knows, because I'm sitting in a game chair. This has been Brutal Rob Hands. This has been It Smells Like a Story Time, pal. We're back on my regular once a week every Sunday. I took last Sunday off. It was a Super Bowl, as everybody knows. Maybe not everybody knows. Oh, you didn't know? I'm a gig worker. So that means that, yes, the Super Bowl Sunday was a very big day for me. I was very busy, out very late by the time I got home and realized what time it was. It was like, I'm not even, I got to get in the shower and go to bed. I can't even shoot a video. So we're back on schedule, so I'll be back next Sunday. I think we'll talk about rolls and bumps. Yeah, we'll talk about rolls and bumps. We'll talk about that next week. Anyways, this has been Brutal Rob Hands. This has been It Smells Like a Story Time, pal. And like, share, unlike, subscribe. Do what you want, pal. I don't care, because I only got half a brain.